Hey up everybody, my name's Joshua Morrison, Dr. Johnny Moz's Lessons in Confidence. Now, the other day I was scrolling through Facebook and I came across a really cute image video of a bear going on a trampoline. And I thought, oh well, my girlfriend likes bears, I'll send it over to her. You know, it's just a cute little video, she might like it, right? And so I sent it over, not without really thinking about it particularly beforehand. And then about an hour later, I kind of went back on it and I kind of had a look at it again, and I realised that it was completely artificially generated by an AI. And I just thought, oh no, I've fallen for it, haven't I? This is it. This is the bit where they've managed to somehow get rid of the uncanny valley. They've somehow managed to get past it. And you know, when I looked back at it, realising it was AI, I was able to see, yeah, okay, I was a bit dumb to send that over. And I looked at it again and I was like, how did I not realise this was AI? Now, for context, I'd sent this at about, I don't know, 1 in the morning. I was lying in bed, I'd just finished a long 8-hour shift. It's not that long, is it? I just finished an 8-hour shift, but it was such a dead day that it felt longer than it was. And I was just really kind of upset with myself that I'd fallen for it, because you know what this means, right? This means that going into the future is only going to get harder and harder and harder. And if I'm already someone who's fairly savvy to this kind of thing, to seeing the difference between an artificially generated video and a real video, what about people that aren't quite as good as me as, you know, discerning this kind of thing? What are they going to do, right? Especially as this technology only gets better and better. And it just got me thinking, this is kind of it for creativity in general, because now people can just generate stuff with an AI. I went to a comedy show the other day, right? And as part of the comedy show, the guy has a music video, and he made the music video using AI. And it's kind of in the style of like Enter the Spider-Verse or whatever it's called. You know the Spider-Man thing where it's got that comic book kind of look to it, but it's a film? It kind of looked like that, and AI kind of lends itself well to that kind of thing. And genuinely, it looked like a good music video. It really looked good, and the guy had obviously put effort into it. He made the images using DALL-E, the image thing, and then he put the images and fed that into some video AI generation device. So it's all being fed off of the images and not off of just the general, you know, amalgamation of all the content out there. So he was able to get something that was really honed in and focused, and the music video was really good. And it told a story, and it was something that he would never have been able to do if he didn't have that technology. He wouldn't have gone out and hired, you know, animators and all that sort of stuff. So it was a piece of content that he wouldn't have been able to make if not for AI. And I kind of think, well, should he have been able to make that piece of content with the help of AI? I mean, it was a good thing, and it was kind of useful for the bit of content that he was making, right? It was part of his set, and it worked quite well for being that part of his set. And I didn't really have a problem with the usage of it in that instance. Maybe just because he was a mate, and I don't really want to slag my mates off and be like, you're using AI, I don't really want to be one of them. It's like kind of being a typical vegan, isn't it? You know, going up to a barbecue and going, you're all eating meat, you're all genociding the animals, right? It kind of feels like that. It's like AI purists are going to be the next vegans, essentially. And when I got fooled by this AI-generated image of a bear, the video itself is like CCTV, so it's purposefully kind of bad, and it's night vision. The idea is that like someone set up their night camera over their back garden. There's a trampoline in the back garden, and the bear comes in the middle of the night and has a bit of a bounce around on it. And I kind of thought, oh, that's cute. I'm gonna send it to my girlfriend because she likes bears. So I thought that would be nice. But you know what? I look at that video now and I just think, oh, I'm such a dolt. How could I have fallen for that? How could I have allowed myself to engage with this sort of stuff positively? And it just frustrated me, because I know that I'm better than that. I know that I'm better than appreciating artificially generated content, right? I think they call it slop content now, but I don't like that term. Just because like it doesn't really mean anything to me. Because it's one of those terms that, you know, one person used it once to make a point, and then everyone jumped on the bandwagon, and now it's like AI slop this, AI slop that, slop content this, you know, algorithm slop, blah, 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 slop, right? And it just becomes a meaningless word, like aardvark, right? Obviously that means something, but if I just started slipping in aardvark in every fucking sentence, it wouldn't mean anything anymore. It would just be aardvarking pointless. I mean, all the aardvarks out there in the world, the animal, will be sitting there going, hey, we're not getting a look in over here because everyone's aardvarking around, talking about aardvarks that aren't actually us. It's just some aardvarking fucking piece of aardvark, right? Already you're sick of hearing the word aardvark, right? That's how I feel about AI-generated slop content, right? And I don't like the term slop. I don't like AI. I don't like what it is, right? And it's just going to get worse and worse. It's only going to get worse. And this problem is going to persist because the technology is not going anywhere. Sam Altman's not going bankrupt anytime soon. So what is there left for the rest of us, right? Say an artist, a photographer, a painter, a filmmaker, a musician, right? Are we all just going to get sidetracked by the Velvet Sundown? Is that what's going to happen? Because now I hear everyone talking about, have you heard about this new band, the Velvet Sundown? Everyone's talking about them because they stir up a bit of controversy, right? But at the same time, no one's talking about small up-and-coming bands and artists, you know? So much so that I'm not even going to name a few of them. I'll name a couple. Hey Bailey, you know, that's a good sort of indie sort of band. Camera, they're a good krautrock type band. LSD, E-L-L-I-S-D, not LSD, the tab thing, LSD. He makes very good, quite psychedelic kind of music. Sort of in the vein of Syd Barrett. I really like his stuff, right? But these are all artists with like about 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, maybe like 5,000 listeners on Spotify or whatever. Nothing special, right? And they're not getting a look in because everyone's busy talking about how shit or weird or technologically progressive the Velvet Sundown are. And it's like, sod the Velvet Sundown. Their music's okay, right? I could do a whole video talking about the Velvet Sundown, but I'm not going to, right? Because everyone's talking about them at the moment. And people like to talk about the latest trending thing, right? They don't like to talk about things that they actually like. They like to put down things that they don't like. But they don't like to elevate things that they do, right? And that's what I'm doing with this video. I'm talking about a fucking video of a bear that was shared on Facebook. Not a real video of a bear, but a fake, artificially generated one of a bear. And a couple of days later, she sent me one of bunnies on a trampoline, right? And I looked at it really carefully because I thought, this is the same kind of thing. Is this going to be AI? And it was. One of the bunnies sort of morphed into another one midway through if you're really paying close attention. And it just got me thinking, at some point, they're going to solve those little like issues where that bunny turned into another thing, or like the ever so slight uncanny valley. Like I fell for the bear because I was really tired, right? I was really, really exhausted, right? Because it was like 1 a.m. And I just feel a bit ashamed that I fell for it. I mean, I could have done something, I could have shared something real that was worthwhile, and yet I didn't. I didn't do that. And it's just sad because we could all be out there thinking about the positives in the world because there's so much beauty out there in the world. I mean, this is just a random park in Leeds, but it's a nice park. Look, the tree line's fucking gorgeous, right? But this place isn't going to get a look in. Say if I did a video about whatever the name of this park is, right? And talked about its history or something like that, and talked about something nice and uplifting. No one would watch it, no one would care. People want to see negativity. They want to see negativity get spread around the internet because they want to live inside the negativity. But they also like to complain about that at the same time. So there's no winning. All that's going to happen is we're going to end up in this world where nothing is real, everything is artificially generated, and the human's a mere audience member, just being fed this regurgitated slop content, right? This garbage that just comes out of computers. And you know, it's the same kind of argument that I suppose people had 20 years ago of CGI. And before that, the very definition of like, you know, technology progressing and people being a bit Luddite about it was cameras. You know, they were saying that it's going to put all the painters out of business. And now people say, well, they didn't put all the painters out of business, but they did put most of them out. And, you know, AI is just doing the exact same thing again. And I just worry about it. We're not going anywhere. technology-wise. We're just pushing ourselves back into oblivion. And this isn't even to talk about the actual, you know, like end of the world sort of scenarios that AI taking over all the governments can get into. This is just on the artistic level. Everything's going to become, you know, tailored to exactly what you want, and it's just going to make everything worse. I feel like since everything comes on YouTube now, I can get exactly what I want through YouTube, and yet I'm not any happier than I was when I was watching TV, which was just, you get served what you get served, and that's it. So, I don't know. I don't feel confident about the future, and seeing that video made me realize that the future is here. It's already happened. It's not something to worry about the idea of, it's something to worry about the actual practicalities of in this very moment. So, yeah, what do you think of AI and all of these things that are going on? What do you think of this? Did you see a video of a bear? Did you see some like random AI generated video that you got fooled by? And if so, what was it that caused that feeling of like, oh, maybe that is real? You know, you didn't even think about it. Was it just because you were tired, you weren't thinking any better, you weren't thinking straight? What was it? I don't know, because I'm not in your head. I only know my head, and in my head, I was just really tired, and then I got up and the next morning, I looked at it and I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, what have I done? So, yeah, I feel a bit ashamed by the fact that I got fooled by it, but you know what? It is what it is. The future's here. I can't just sit here and complain about it and get left behind. All I can do is try my best to keep up and remain pure and genuine in the world that's ever growingly artificial all around me. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this video, everybody. I'm sorry that I'm not very good with my words today. That's because I'm not an AI generated thing that can just come up with all the most fantastic prose just off the top of my head. I can't talk at length about grey paint on a wall and, you know, use words like transcendental about it. Right? I can just use these half-baked sentences to try and come up with some general idea of my point, which is that I don't like the future. So thank you very much for watching this video, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.